All right, I think this is working. Let's switch this over. Actual display here. Check this on my other computer. Oh shoot, I should probably set a thumbnail. Dang, can I not set a thumbnail? Well, that kind of sucks. Okay, I'm gonna assume that this is coming through. All right. Anyways, so for anyone watching, which I doubt there is anyone who's watching, this is essentially I'm trying to work on a Java framework, a Java project framework from the ground up, um, which is essentially just some boilerplate code that I can just have access to immediately, to get some kind of essentials out of the way, so I don't have to keep reinventing the wheel for every project. Um, and so the goal for this project is to basically kind of create my own custom GUI system using basically being built on Java Swing. There's gonna be a whole bunch of other stuff too. I think it's gonna have a whole bunch of utils. I just got done responsible for just giving me different color styles in the console. Hold on a second. Just make sure this is still up and running. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Um, and so I think for now I'm just gonna work on finishing up the console class because I also want this to. Here, I actually have a README semi ready to go here. Um, but yeah, essentially the framework is gonna be called Satchel, and it's gonna be kind of opinionated. So I'm putting a lot of my own preference into this, which makes sense because this is kind of a personal project for now. I'm not sure if this is something that other people would even want to use, so we'll have to see how it goes. But basically, yeah, it's gonna have like a custom GUI framework built on Swing. The console class, which I'm working on now, is essentially it's gonna be kind of a replacement for like system.out console logging. So it's going to have like dynamic text and background color rendering, debug tools like debug printing and stuff like that you can enable or disable certain debug printing modes. And then it'll also have ideally some benchmarking utilities. So being able to kind of like pass in a method to a console method, and then be able to benchmark it to see how performant it is, or how quickly it took to run. Again, some util packages containing useful utility classes. Let's see, fast custom exception handling, blah blah, system configuration. And then this is going to be pretty ambitious. I'm going to try and make my own kind of data serializer to my own kind of form of JSON, which will support uh, essentially holding like Java objects as well. So that's the goal. Um, as for now, for GUI capabilities, that's probably what I'm going to work on afterwards. So like after the console class, because this is kind of really what I wanted to get into. I'm not sure which. I'm gonna at some point build an application, like using this framework to just kind of test and see how I like it, and I'll probably do that on stream or make a video of it. Because for now, like this is kind of what I have for the widget API, which is kind of just a wrapper for Java Swing. So it's essentially doing the same thing that Java Swing does, except like for example, if you want to create a window using a JFrame, instead of saying like new JFrame, you can actually just say new window, which feels a lot more intuitive than JFrame, in my opinion. And you can pass it some like defaults up here, so you could give it like the title of the window and then the dimensions of the window. But you could also like have a bit more control over the customization, and you can actually pass it a Lambda function with a reference to itself. And so this is kind of the convention that I'm going for with Satchel, is that whenever you are referencing the object, either in the constructor or in one of its methods, I'm going to be calling that self, since you can't call it this, since that's already used. So I think self is the next best thing. So self in this case refers to the new window object, and you can initialize it with a new size, a new background color, all of the other stuff. Or and you can just run regular code in here, obviously. And the other thing is that we can also parent different components or widgets by passing that component as the parameter to the constructor of whatever component that we're creating. Which is just a nicer way of, adding a component without needing to directly access the add method. Which, that's when you have a whole bunch of components that you're creating and, adding to something, then it gets a little bit cumbersome to just keep saying like window.add or whatever. So that's kind of where I'm at now with this project. But a lot of the code for the console class, I am actually going to be using from my old version of it. And hopefully I'm on like 2 different resolution monitors here. There we go. So I'm probably going to borrow a lot of this code, but I will need to change some things. Because I just rewrote the parse console colors. So it's a lot faster now. The old version I wrote it like super quickly, and I didn't have a lot of Java experience, if you will, so I didn't know certain methods for, not caching or creating new string values, string objects, which can significantly slow things down. So you can see like in this prompt menu, I'm concatenating strings together with just the plus operator quite a bit, which is fine actually for this. In like user input collection, that's not a huge deal since you're not going to be running that like quickly or in a tight loop. But the parse console colors one you can possibly have running in a tight loop, and so concatenating all of the like the substrings, like this can be quite a lot of extra overhead that is now completely avoided. So that's nice. A few things I probably will copy over here. I think I'm gonna redo the prompt menu. I'm not very happy with the way that is set up. Prompt and Boolean probably. Console colors, printf. I don't know if I'll keep printf or not. Probably not. If I need to print with formatting, then maybe, but I can also just like format my string before printing it, so it's not something that I'm really gonna concern myself with. I don't know why. Is this music like not going through? Oh well, whatever. All right, so let's get started here. Let's go back to app. So we have this. I'm just gonna do that real quick. Don't need to look at that. Parse console colors, println. These are fine. These are all done pretty much. Prompt string definitely needs to change. So I'm probably going to, let's see, prompt the user with a string, and there's also a default string. First of all, that should probably be overloaded, so a default isn't required. We get the next line, if submission dot equals that. I can probably change this to if it is empty. Length is 0. Just go with is empty. And we say print, and this was the old way. I should probably go ahead and copy those colors over. That might be another thing that I can do really quickly. Yeah, I might actually do that really fast. That's gonna take a long time. Actually, I'll do that off screen. These are fine for now. Okay, so this, let's just see if this works first of all. I'm gonna go ahead and say like this is still fine. Concatenating strings this way. We have handle default case. I think I still want to do it that way. Let me go ahead and open up. Get this guy here. It's the color wheel. And let's just choose a value for purple. That's fine. So this should now look something like this. I think I do like the syntax better now. And also another cool thing about this is that we actually have like a color editor like built into VS Code whenever we use like a hex code. So that's also really nice. So I'm definitely a big fan of that. And then we can say text reset. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this a whole lot more. Return submission. So let's see if that works. Should have console.print. Is that what I'm using? No, prompt string. So let's say like enter some value. Let's say this is the default value. Oh. Wait, is there another space there? Okay, that's not supposed to happen. Um, 110, 147. 74. Is it complaining about this? It shouldn't be. Argument is missing hashtag, but how? Message. Press console colors, message. Oh, that's because green doesn't exist, dummy. Okay. I'm just gonna add these as I go. There we go. Okay, so we'd say like enter something. Let's go into config. Just keep that open on the side for now. So far we have, I call that bright green. What's this? Just gonna call that. No, let's call purple. Okay. And this one doesn't need to, like, this method doesn't need to actually do that much. Wait, why didn't that print out a default? Oh, because I actually entered something. There we go. And do we want 2 lines below it still? Yeah, I think I like that better. Also, this should support escape codes. So I should be able to do this and it, like, oops. Yeah, okay. So that that works. That's good. Because if I need to, like, actually render one of these... Good, okay. Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure without that it would just break. Yeah, okay. So that's good. That is working. So that's really all we need, really, for this method. I guess I can add a Java doc real quick. Prompt the user to enter a message. And we can just say, we'll say text field message the user enters as a string. I'm just gonna call this default. Oh, you can't use default, that's right. Default string to be returned if the user entered empty string. I don't need these. The text value the user entered the default string. Okay. And now let's work on the fun one. Let me just make sure that IntelliSense is coming up like it should. Say dot prompt string. There we go. All right, let's do prompt boolean. Public static boolean prompt boolean. We'll still give them a message. Still do a default. And let me just check and see. I think this was a little bit involved as far as I remember. Yeah, like this was so long. I don't know why this was so long. Oh, input validation, that makes sense. And then I also have an input validation enum. I don't think that's really necessary. Being looped, validation checking. The do while is still a good approach though. Yeah, so did I use prompt string for that? I just used regular print. I could probably, yeah, why didn't I do that? I should have just used prompt string. I literally already had the method done. Maybe if I want to customize the color. True, like currently I can't customize the color with prompt string. Well, yes I can. I just have to like reset it, I think. That's red. Yeah, there we go. So I can actually, yeah. So in that case, should just say, I guess I have to use a try catch, right? Well, not for parsing a boolean, but I don't have to. Oh yeah, of course. I can just make that the default. It's actually a pretty smart way to do it. To do it this way. I mean, will it just parse, like, will it just be null if I don't? Oh, it interprets it as false. That's kind of annoying. Okay. So let's just do it this way then. Message cannot be resolved. What are you talking about? Oh, I misspelt it. So yeah, I would just check it like this, to be honest. Actually, we don't even need to do that, because I already have a parser in here. for primitive values. Oh yeah, but it does. We actually don't want it to do that. We don't want to use this. Yeah, and then we can just say else row new error. And this could be a custom exception thing. Public user input exception. Yes, we'll include a message. Actually, we might not want to throw an error.